Welcome to this explainer. Today we're looking at one of the absolute most fascinating trajectories in modern British entertainment. We're tracing the extraordinary path of Alan Carr. We're talking about a guy who went from working mind-numbing, dead-end jobs to becoming a literal national treasure. It's this incredible underdog story all about resilience, the power of unpretentious humor, and how staying true to your roots can, well, catapult you to the very top.
Okay, let's dive right into this, because this huge number is where our story actually kicks off today. So, in November 2025, over 11 million of us watched Alan Carr totally outwit his fellow contestants to win the hit BBC reality show Celebrity Traders. But, the real drama? That happened after the victory. Live on air, in just a hugely emotional moment, Alan announced he was donating his entire prize pot, the whole £87,500, to a small, relatively unknown charity called Neuroblastoma UK. It's an organization that was actually founded by a grieving Lincolnshire family way back in 1982 after they tragically lost their 5-year-old son to a rare and devastating childhood cancer.
And the impact of that single moment was just staggering. 7,000%. That represents the immediate surge in website traffic for Neuroblastoma UK literally right after the finale aired. Alan himself even joked on the Real Talk podcast that, no one can spell it, no one knows what it is, but he was absolutely over the moon about the attention it brought. This massive, instant wave of public support perfectly proves his immense cultural impact. When Alan Carr speaks, the nation genuinely listens. But to really understand how he built that kind of connection with the British public, we need to rewind a bit.
Section 1. Humble Beginnings in Weymouth.
Long before the sold-out arenas and the gleaming BAFTA Awards, Alan was born in Portway Hospital down in Weymouth during the famously sweltering summer of 1976. Now, his family eventually moved to the Littlemore area and later relocated up to Northampton, but Weymouth always remained a very special place for him, a classic seaside town he'd come back to visit as a teenager. Growing up in the 1980s, his household in Northampton was, entirely obsessed with football. After navigating that rather intense environment, he eventually found his way to Middlesex University in the 1990s to pursue theater studies. But let me tell you, that journey wasn't exactly smooth sailing.
This thought from Alan really captures the emotional contrast of his youth perfectly. He was a young camp boy growing up in a house utterly dominated by his father, Graham Carr. And Graham wasn't just a casual weekend fan, he was a highly successful professional football scout and manager. He actually led Northampton Town to a division title in the late 80s. As Alan has pointed out, his dad wasn't a bad guy at all. He was just a classic 80s Northern football manager who desperately wanted his son to play the game. Alan, however, had absolutely zero footballing potential. None. Which, understandably, made him feel like a total alien in his own home.
And, the perspective from his father is equally poignant. Graham Carr has openly expressed deep regret over not realizing his son was gay for a really long time. Alan kept it a secret from his parents, and when he later moved to Manchester, he tragically suffered physical assaults. Looking back on it now, his father feels a profound ache, just wishing he could have been there to protect his son from that harsh reality. It's a striking reminder of the real vulnerability that sits just beneath Alan's cheerful, larger-than-life public persona.
Section 2. Dead-end jobs to comedy.
So after university, Alan definitely didn't just waltz right into the spotlight. Actually, scratch that. It was the exact opposite. He stepped into a gritty, deeply mundane reality that required an incredible amount of sheer resilience just to survive. We're talking about the real grind here. Cleaning office toilets, degreasing car parts on some bleak industrial estate, and serving breakfast to confused pensioners at Weymouth's Prince Regent Hotel. Now contrast that with his life today. He's a BAFTA-winning A-lister, a Traitors champion, and soon to be the owner of a literal chateau in a Disney Plus docuseries. It is the absolute ultimate rags to riches contrast.
But making that initial leap, it was terrifying. When Alan first tried open mic stand-up during his drama course, the immense anxiety almost made him physically sick. No joke. Yet, he found himself stuck working in a Barclaycard call center, dealing with lost and stolen credit cards all day long. It was totally soul-sucking work. So, he made a choice. He channeled all those miserable, everyday workplace experiences, the toxic office politics, the terrible jobs, straight into his comedy routine. He literally took the mundane and turned it into absolute comedy gold.
Section 3. The Breakthrough Years.
Now, what's truly incredible here is the sheer velocity of his rise once he finally found his footing. In 2001, he won the prestigious BBC New Comedy Award. Bam! By 2002, his solo debut at the Edinburgh Fringe was earning rave reviews. This critical acclaim quickly caught the eye of Channel 4 executives, leading to his massive mainstream television breakthrough in 2006, co-hosting The Friday Night Project. And from there, the rest is history. He launched Alan Carr Chatty Man, which ran for an unbelievable 16 series, winning him a BAFTA and permanently solidifying his status as a premier television host.
So, what does this all mean? What is his secret sauce? Well, the crucial point is that his superpower is absolute unpretentiousness. Those years spent in the trenches, cleaning toilets, answering angry phones in a call center, serving hotel breakfasts, those are exactly what makes him such a brilliant, disarming interviewer today. He doesn't have that manufactured plastic polish of a typical Hollywood host. Guests sit on his sofa, they see the drinks, they hear the jokes, and they just let their guard down, because Alan is, at his core, just a normal bloke who happens to be extraordinarily funny.
Section 4. An enduring legacy.
The thing is, Alan isn't just coasting on his past success. He is actively cementing his legacy right now. He's using his massive platform to entertain and give back. He's even found a way to turn the alienation of his youth into art. His hit autobiographical ITV sitcom, Changing Ends, dives right back into that 1980s Northampton childhood we talked about. By revisiting the camp boy in a football-obsessed house, he's created a hilarious but deeply warm show that resonates with millions. In fact, it's been so wildly successful that the highly anticipated third series just aired in November 2025. It really proves that his personal story has universal appeal.
And his current slate of projects? Honestly, it's nothing short of blockbuster. He's hosting the smash hit BBC game show Picture Slam, serving as a beloved judge on RuPaul's Drag Race UK, and getting ready for a massive 93-date stand-up tour in 2027 titled Have I Said Too Much? But perhaps the most amazing, hilarious project is his upcoming Disney Plus docuseries Castleman. Approaching his 50th birthday, Alan decided that instead of having a standard midlife crisis and buying a sports car, he's going to fulfill a childhood dream and buy a historic chateau. As he puts it, he just wants a turret to call his own.
It really is an incredible journey, isn't it? We've traced his path from a hospital in Weymouth, through the anxieties of call centers and open mic nights, all the way to becoming a BAFTA-winning national treasure. But as we saw right at the beginning of this explainer with that $87,500 donation to Neuroblastoma UK, Alan Carr isn't just about the laughs. He's about using his success to pull others up. So I leave you with this thought to chew on. From a Weymouth call center to a castle-owning philanthropist, whose life will Alan Carr change next? Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this underdog story as inspiring as I did.